Up next on F4 U.S. Championship today, we're racing in South Florida, opening weekend for season number 2. The field has doubled in size, more than 30 cars in action. We've got a host of fresh faces and some fast veterans. There's no end to the high-flying action. The F4 U.S. Championship fires up now. F4 United States Championship today. Coverage of 2017's first race weekend at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Welcome to this edition of F4 U.S. Championship today. Time to put these cars in motion and get them racing. Before we get going, if you're not familiar with the F4 machine, let's take a look at what these cars are all about. They're lightweight single-seater race cars, purpose-built. They carry a sealed 160 horsepower Honda motor, and they ride on Pirelli racing tires. Well, this year, the F4 U.S. Championship has some returning drivers who are hoping for success and a lot of newcomers as well. Second-year driver Benjamin Peterson from the Pacific Northwest already with his eyes on the prize, staking his claim to the first Camera Das Award of the season. He started race 1 at Homestead on the pole.
30 cars on the grid for the start of the 2017 F4 U.S. Championship season. Rookie Timo Rieger in the 19 starts alongside pole sitter Peterson in the 24. Both get good starts. Rieger tucks in behind Peterson heading into turn 1. Remember that name. The rest of the weekend, he's pretty fast. J. Howard Motorsports driver Parker Lott kicks up some dirt as he fights to stay inside the top 10. One of the series' returning stars, Skylar Robinson, gets into trouble here in the back of Chris Archinago. On board now with Austin McCusker, nowhere to go in his 5-car. Robinson would have to pit. Trouble on the start as well for Katona, New York's John Andrew Entwistle. Doesn't quite get going here on the start. Stalls out that 21 car. He'd have a lot of ground to make up. First lead change of the season on lap 1. Timo Rieger shows his speed, gets a really nice draft, and goes around Peterson on the outside. Moves that 19 car into first. Riding now with veteran Jim Goffrey Jr. in his Primus 4-car race winner last year at New Jersey. He draws alongside the 68 of Jacob Loomis, and around Loomis and Sam Paley in the 26. Goffrey to 4th. Paley would be in the mix for most of race 1. Here he is now battling with second-year star Balthazar Leguizamon. He qualified 3rd in that 45. They'd trade the 4th spot a few times. Next lap, a 4-car scrum for second. That's Paley in the 26 going under Peterson. They'd be side-by-side for a couple of corners. Goffrey in the 4 and Leguizamon in that Motorola-sponsored 45 car waiting to pounce. Great action back in the field. Rookie Ken Ficarro, Momentum Motorsports 16, and second-year runner Blake Mountain, the Expedia.com 7-car mix it up here. And just a little too much rear brake for Blake Mountain. He spins through turn 1 and 2. Nice job by Davis Durrett to avoid contact. Durrett back for his second season. Caution here, the 96 of Lawson Nagel, rookie contender out of Fort Worth, Texas in the 96. He'd have contact with the wall. That would end his day early. On the restart, Peterson trying to catch Rieger. Paley trying to catch Peterson. The top 3 in a pretty good dogfight here. Paley's teammate Max Peichel in the 14 car over the rumble strip the wrong way. He gets crossed up. Balthazar Leguizamon evasive action through the dirt. Peichel spins the exit of turn 1. Next lap, Sam Paley again in the 26, working hard to get past Peterson. Just misses. He does a little dirt tracking to try to get going again. No podium for the J. Howard drivers this day. The first race would end under yellow for Peichel's stalled car. That's Timo Rieger, Benjamin Peterson, your outside pole winner, and Jacob Loomis.
I was just dominant through the whole race, you know, from the start. I just really wanted to build the gap and let them battle it out. And that's what happened. Luckily, there was some yellows, which didn't really help in my favor, but I still played it well and still built the gap until the end. So I'm really happy with that.
Drafting is a big deal around here. I was drafting the guy in front of me, and they were drafting me, so it was just a constant battle. It was a lot of fun, though. Congrats to the winner. Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow, the next race.
We had a pretty good start, and we kind of fell back quite a bit, so that was a pretty big challenge. I think we dropped back to 8th or 9th in the race, and then started picking cars off. Cars started coming a little bit more, and ended up 3rd, and great.
We mentioned earlier Benjamin Peterson picked up the first Camera Das Award at Homestead. That's a new award honoring last year's series champion. It's a $500 prize being awarded by ProSim to each weekend's fastest qualifier. There's also a year-end award of $2,000 that'll go to the driver who picks up the most fast lap times during the season. More to come on this edition of F4 U.S. Championship today. Round number 2 highlights from Homestead upcoming, and safety, a crucial part of auto racing, especially in the F4 U.S. Championship. We'll take you inside one of these race cars and show you a key component that helps keep these young drivers safe.
F4 U.S. Championship today is being brought to you by Honda. The F4 United States Championship is powered by Honda and presented by Honda Performance Development. And by SCCA Pro Racing. The F4 United States Championship is accessible, developmental, safe, and fun. For more information, visit F4USChampionship.com. Find out how you can get behind the wheel.
Hi, my name's Austin McCusker. I'm from Glen Head, New York.
Hi, I'm Timo Rieger. I'm from Houston, Texas.
I came to the F4 Series because of the stout field here, 33 cars.
I'm joining the F4 Series this year. It's my first year as a rookie. It's a highly competitive and huge field this year, but it's going to be really competitive, and I think it's a great transition from last year from Skip Barber, and I think it's going to be a good season.
Welcome back. One of the primary objectives of the F4 U.S. Championship is not just to give drivers a good learning platform that's fast, but to give them a safe race car to learn in as well. We'll take you inside one of these cars now and show you how important the cockpit is to helping our drivers stay secure.
Hi, my name's Andy Scribben. I'm the Chief Designer with On-Road Automotive, and we're here again looking at the Crawford F4 car, discussing safety. I've got with me Austin Kazuba here. One of the things that we're always concerned about is protecting the driver's head in the event of an accident. So what we have is this safety collar. You can see it around Austin's head here, and it prevents his head moving excessively in the event of an accident. In the event of a sideways accident, his head hits. This structure is designed to collapse, compress, absorb the shock of any crash, the energy. Same with the piece behind his head, designed that in the event of a shunt, his head goes back, hits that, will compress, absorb the energy, keep Austin safe. It's quickly removable so that in the event of an emergency, we can release these catches, pull it out, Austin can exit the car. Again, you can see how much room there is once that's done to extract him from the car. All part of the FIA safety mandated systems for these race cars.
As always in the F4 U.S. Championship, 3 races make up the first competitive weekend of the year. Round number 2 taking place on Sunday at Homestead. Let's see what happens.
Raphael Forcier returning this season in the 62 on the point for race 2. Ben Waddell in the 28 outside. Jack William Miller in the 40. A little too early there on the gas for young William Miller. Bonsai move, though, trying to grab first outside, then in around the 37 of Jordan Sherratt, all the way from South Africa. Penalty for Miller, though. He jumped the start. John Andrew Entwistle up and over Loss-and-Nagle. Could have been huge, but it wasn't. Out front, it's Forcier, Miller, and Waddell. A good scrap for the point. Early in this one, Forcier trying to stretch that lead. On board now with Ben Waddell. William Miller under Forcier. But officials would call a penalty on him for jumping the start. So this battle between Waddell and Forcier would be for the lead. Scary moment here. On board with Parker Locke in the 6, clips the 35 of Chris Archinacco and takes a wild, wild ride. He tumbles multiple times. Here's another look from Archinacco's vantage point. Locke clips the rear wing of Alan Miller in the 65. Here's another look at it.
Yeah, I'm fine. My knees are a little sore, but I'm good. I was going in to turn 8, and the person in front of me slammed on the brakes, and I just wasn't expecting it. I went over its tire and flipped over a few times.
Locke from San Antonio walked away, but car too badly damaged. He's done for the weekend. On the restart, Waddell, Forcier, and guess who? Timo Rieger. Another yellow on lap 7 for the 22 of Jacob Abel. Jack William Miller with problems. Abel nowhere to go. He ends up in the tires. The race restarts on lap 11. Forcier forcing Waddell low. Here comes Rieger closing the gap. And then Rieger really, really good in the draft alongside Waddell here to grab second. A little later, 4-car scrum for 6th. That's young veteran Austin Kazuba in the 27. Bobbles a little bit. Jacob Loomis, Jonathan Scarallo, and former winner Kyle Kirkwood, who started last in the 8th car, joining the fight. Another full course caution, though, would bring this one to a halt. Kent Vaccaro in the 96 of Loss-and-Nagle. Newcomer Jet Nolan in the 51. They tangle in turn 3. Race 2 also ends under yellow. Raphael Forcier picks up his first F4 win.
You know, we had good battles between the top 3. Obviously, we spent a lot of time under yellow, which sucks a little bit, but I was able to get it right before the last yellow, and it ended up good for me.
I'm just so thankful. I mean, thankful for the JDX boys, Stoner Car Care, Invisible Glass, U-Swag, just everyone that's supported me. It's been truly amazing. And to get a podium on my second ever F4 race, it feels, I just can't tell you how it feels. It feels amazing.
When we continue in just a moment, year 2 of F4 United States Championship action, SCCA Pro Racing excited about what this season may hold. We'll talk to one of their lead board members about the project. Also ahead, a host of new teams in the series this year. When we come back, we'll meet one team that's headquartered at the hub of the sport.
Hey guys, I'm Jacob Loomis. I'm from Dallas, Texas.
I'm Jonathan Scarallo from Long Island, New York.
I chose F4 for the close racing and to learn more about you know, the marketing side of it and continue on with my racing career.
Last year I ran the team. That was too boring though, so now I'm going to go out and play as well.
Welcome back to F4 U.S. Championship today. We're at Honda Performance Development in Santa Clarita, California. We're in the shop area where those bulletproof K24 motors are built for the F4 Championship. In fact, the assembly takes place about 30 feet or so from where we're standing right here.
We often show you these amazing Honda power plants at the racetrack, but our cameras were not allowed inside the engine development area of HPD. We were, though, able to talk to one of the engine gurus responsible for taking the street engine from a Civic and transforming it for racing.
This is first off a brand new engine that's for the Type R, fitted with a dry sump system, very strong oil pumps, and then additional plumbing and race features. And then because it has such a potential for flexibility, it seemed to be the best candidate to go in those cars. Very tight package, very light, great power to weight ratio. We've taken this engine and then decontented it. This is an engine that comes with a turbo. It's a very strong foundation for naturally aspirated. Of course, it is tuned accordingly. The trick was, since these engines are designed to run boosted and then they run naturally aspirated, there are some subtleties that needs to be looked into, especially on the calibration side. And then we found that those engines actually accommodate fine-tuning appropriately and then very robust, very long-lasting. So these engines are withstanding without budging up to 6,500 miles, 10,000 kilometers. Last year we had a total of 16 cars. It was the beginning of this race category, and then this year we have up to 33 cars. Clearly it's a good sign that we've done really well with our engine package. We've looked for an engine package that has a wide range of power outputs that can accommodate, and then it makes this racing affordable. This is a really good engine for entry-level racing at an affordable price.
Affordable yet durable components from suppliers like Honda, Pirelli, and JRI are a big part of the rising popularity of the F4 United States Championship. One of the other key components, the management of SCCA Pro Racing. Several SCCA board members came to Homestead to check out the progress of the series. Our Kyle Benjamin caught up with one key SCCA leader.
It's not the first time at the track for Dan Hellman, chairman and president of SCCA Ventures, the group that oversees both the professional and amateur SCCA racing divisions. It is, however, the first time for Hellman to take in the F4 U.S. Championship powered by Honda.
I love it. I'm a Formula Car racer, been racing Formula Cars since 1968, so this is great. This is a great series. Good group of people, the sponsors, the partners that we have. It's a great series. There is talk from the FIA about a regional Formula 3 series or country-specific Formula 3 series. We're trying to get involved with that, so that would be a natural progression from F4 to F3, same partners, same chassis, same engine, with a little bit of change in the mapping and stuff. So most of our driver population are millennials, and that's a whole different ball game to sell to. So, we've got lots of things. I mean, a sports car club's an old entity, and you just can't depend on those old motorsports type of partners anymore.
Of course, it's season 2 for the F4 United States Championship. The paddock has grown, nearly twice as many cars as what we had 1 year ago. Teams are growing as well. One team that we expect a lot from this year started out as a 1-car effort a season ago. Now they'll enter 4 cars in the championship.
One of the reasons why I did it is because being in Indianapolis, and I've said this in the past, I've got access to a lot of people from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I kind of got pushed into doing it. Everybody said, yeah, if you do it, we'll come. We'll support you both, on the mechanic, on the crew side, obviously. And so I was kind of, with that backing, I'm like, I'll go ahead and do it. Steve Newey's my partner, and Steve Newey won the Indianapolis 500 in 2011 with Dan Weldon. And So by bringing Steve on board, that really helped build the team. I mean, he was able to bring everybody in that we all knew on the crew side, so that helps. And also, the 4 drivers all met at Road Atlanta for a Skip Barber class, and so they've all grown up through Skip Barber together, and so that's kind of how it all gelled, was the 4 of them wanted to be on a team together.
Dean and I really hit things off when we were racing at Skip Barber, when I was racing with his son, so we had a good relationship. And then I had kept in touch when Davis moved on last year to F4. I continued to stay in touch with Dean and find out about the series. And then after I completed my last year at Lucas, we got in touch, and you know, he expressed some interest, and I was already looking at F4 team, so that's kind of where it came from.
I think it's a good thing having 4 people on the team too, is because if, you know, 2 do a different setup and 2 are a different setup, we can learn from each, because I think we're all at the same point of driving experience right now.
Stepping up to 4 cars now. Now we have a mechanic on each car. We have 2 engineers on the team. We have 2 different coaches on the team. So we've just expanded our crew member by that much. So just managing all of that has been a huge step for us.
It takes a huge amount of dedication to rise to the top levels of the sport as a driver, but everybody has to have something else they enjoy doing, right? We asked our young drivers what they would be doing if they weren't racing.
Soccer, hockey, anything competitive.
I'd be training a lot more for hockey with my high school and hopefully play for the Chicago Blackhawks someday.
If I wasn't racing, I'd be an engineer for some automotive company. Can't get rid of the cars.
Entrepreneurship plays a big role in my family, so I think that if I wasn't racing, then I'd probably own my own business.
If I wasn't racing in the F4 Series, I would probably be playing college hockey in Denver for the Pioneers.
I'd be a dietitian just with my love of food and healthy eating as well, and also exercise.
I would be playing soccer. It's one of my favorite sports to watch, and I love playing it.
I think nothing, because, I don't know, I live for that.
When we continue on F4 U.S. Championship today, highlights of round number 3 of the season's opening weekend at Homestead, and we'll give you a championship update with 3 races complete. Keep it here.
F4 U.S. Championship today has been brought to you by Honda. The F4 U.S. Championship is powered by Honda and presented by Honda Performance Development. By SCCA Pro Racing. Bridging the gap from karts to cars has never been easier. Make the affordable transition to Formula 4. Find out more at f4uschampionship.com. And by Replay XD, professional action cameras, the leader since 2005.
We are back to close out the first weekend of racing in this year's F4 United States Championship. As we mentioned earlier, you've got some returning veterans this year and a host of young stars who aspire to the top levels of the sport. One of the newcomers had a terrific opening weekend. Let's show you race number 3.
So rookie Timo Rieger steals the spotlight at Homestead, grabs a win and a second to open the season. The weekend finale, another star turn for Timo. Burleson, Texas native Austin Kazuba in the 27, New Zealander Brandon Leach in the 86 start race 3 up front. Kazuba, this is his first F4 pole and a nice birthday present for his dad. The field away cleanly, but it won't hold. Problems in the scrap for 7th. John Paul Southern Jr. in the 61 gets into Kyle Kirkwood in the 8. Jacob Loomis in the 68 gets collected. Here's another look from Benjamin Peterson. Southern pinballs off Kirkwood, clips Loomis, everyone scatters. Loomis 3-wheeling. Son, you'll need that 4th tire. Up front, meantime, Kazuba Leach and Matthias Soler from Columbia, 3rd fast qualifier in the 9 car. He takes it 3 wide for the lead. Skylar Robinson in the 2, lurking. Here's the fight for 5th. John Entwistle in the 21 puts the bump and run on Jim Goffrey Jr. in the 4. Forcier would take advantage, and Timo Rieger dominant so far and looking good again. Meanwhile, Skylar Robinson closes in to make it a 4-car fight for the lead. Soler, though, around the outside of Leach. Riding now with Jet Nolan. He started 20th in the 51. Vincent Kristoff in the 3-car gets sideways, clips Nolan. That brings out a yellow. Both guys done for the day. On the restart, Soler leading, Leach hot on his tail. Robinson, Kazuba, Rieger all right there too. And Leach giving it everything he's got. Right on the tail of Soler. He'd sneak by to take the point. Robinson trying to sneak by for 2nd. He can't make the move stick. And here comes Timo Rieger. Slingshots by Soler for 2nd. So good in the draft here at Homestead. And he set sail for the new leader, Brandon Leach. Leach, though, not giving up, puts that Honda power down in full 4-wheel drift mode. It's a 5-car fight for the lead, but Rieger showing terrific form would not be denied. The youngster from Houston grabs the lead right here. and he would pull away. Everyone else left to fight for runner-up. Solar, Kazuba, Forcier. A good run, too, for Jonathan Scarallo. You'll see him here in that red and yellow car. Moves up to fourth. Brendan Leach a little too hard into turn one. Kyle Kirkwood on the wrong end of things for the second time. Max Peichel in the 14 spins to avoid that one. Timo Rieger, class of the field, wins race 3 going away.
Yeah, I started 6th. I had a little bad start. I dropped back a couple positions, but I made it up slowly but surely, and luckily there was a yellow which helped me regain the spots. And I just picked my poison and picked my shots properly. And then once I found the gap and found the pole, I just ran away with it and didn't look back.
The track changed a little bit. It took me a little bit to adapt. I'll admit I wasn't on the 8 ball on that one. So once I kind of got a handle on what I needed to do, and it all kind of came together.
Here's a look at the unofficial points following round 1 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Rieger 26 points over Forcier, Kazuba, Goffrey Jr., Solar, and Loomis in the top 5.
Well, that's all the time we have on this edition of F4 U.S. Championship Today. Next time we come to you, we'll be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The young stars of the F4 U.S. Championship will perform on the sport's biggest stage. Again, 3 races over a 2-day weekend. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. I'm Rick Benjamin.